Then what about the people who came after him who was cursing him?
We have issues with that. All I'm saying to you, right, is that you mentioned that the first three Khalifa, right?
There is no difference in the first three Khalifa. The fourth Khalifa is the one disputed.
We don't dispute that.
That is the dispute.
We don't dispute that.
What do you think of the ones who curse him? What do you think of those people?
I just said to you, right, I would find it abhorrent that anybody that would curse Hazrat Ali Radiallahu anhu.
You have a problem with the ones who curse Ali ibn Abi Talib. I always said.
Of course, I said that.
No, it's okay. Let him ask questions. I want the questions to come.
It's good to ask questions.
If you want to sit
in front, well, if you want to sit in front, maybe you can speak closer.
My whole point is, and the whole point that I'm making is, I did not even mention the first three Khulafa. The fourth Khalifa, would unanimously all accept that yes, that he was you accept that he was the fourth Khalifa?
Absolutely.
Yes? And we say that he was supposed to be the first. He never became the first. He became the fourth. My point wasn't about the first three Khulafa. My point was that the fourth Khalifa that you accept as the fourth, and we accept that he was at least a Khalifa or the successor of the Holy Prophet. What about the ones who came after him or in his own time during his life, who fought against him and who cursed him? And all the ones who continued cursing him for the next 70 years. My whole point was about those people. I did not even mention the ones who were before him. I said those people who were cursing him. Did any of the first three Khulafa curse him? Did I ever say that? Did I ever mention any references?
No,
I said to Imam Hassan al-Islam and onwards.
You didn't even mention them by name. These are mighty people of our faith. Right? These are people, right, who stood shoulder to shoulder with the Prophet, peace be upon him.
Did I disrespect them? Did I say anything against them? My point was on the fourth Khalifa. Brother, please. Look, I don't have a problem. I think you have a problem with the fact with Ali ibn Abi Talib. The same thing that you know the history. Please let me finish.
Could I just intervene here and ask one question? Obviously, probably well, everyone who knows he's a bit hot-tempered time to time. But I just want to intervene here. Like yes, and I'm referring to them as 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going into names here. I just want to ask a question here. Okay. The fourth Khalifa, Imam Ali alayhi salam, number 4. Okay, if you're talking about respect for the first three, then surely if you're respected there for the fourth, then why couldn't the followers of the fourth, like yourself and you're saying, and us, why can't we hold a simple janazah in the Sunnah al-Jamaat mosque if you are also followers of the fourth Khalifa? So are you disrespecting him?
Of course not. But this is. How can I say?
Yeah, let me just mention a hadith. The hadith says, "Asdaqaka thalathatun wa a'da'uka thalatha." You have 3 friends and you have 3 enemies. Sadiquka wa sadiqu sadiqika wa adu wa adubik. You have 3 friends, and I'll only mention the friends. Your 3 friends are your friend's friend is your friend, and your enemy's enemy. Okay, your enemy's enemy is your friend. My whole point that I was making, and I hope it goes through this time for the final time, and I'll not talk on this issue anymore. My whole point that I was making is, when our Sunni brothers hold the enemies of Ali to be their friends, the ones who were cursing Ali ibn Abi Talib, that is our problem. Our problem, I did not even mention the first 3 Khulafa or any of the problems between them or nothing. My whole problem was that there were people who were cursing him after he died. Even after his death, they were continued cursing him. These people, fine, they were misguided. Do you accept them as misguided? Our whole problem is that an enemy's enemy is your friend. This was the whole problem, and this continues to be a problem. Our problem today is that our Sunni brothers respect them and grant them a lot of respect. The ones who came after Ibn Talib and continue to disrespect him and curse him. They did not even care that he was the fourth Khalifa. They did not even care that he was a son-in-law. Even if you don't accept him as the fourth Khalifa, at least accept him as the son-in-law of the Holy Prophet. As a Muslim.
This is not in dispute. In the current situation as we stand, forget 1400 years ago, the current situation...
Your ahadith that you will be taking, or many of the practices that you will be taking, will be derived from the people. This will come later. I do not wish to go into it anymore. That was the last thing that I wanted to say on it. Many things you will be taking will be from the ones who have cursed Ali ibn Abi Talib. Many of the things that you practice. Just one brother and then you. Yes.
Just moving the debate on slightly. In terms of the way the Shia scholars interpret the Quran, I know ijtihad is a process which is used. Ijtihad is a process which is used in in Shia Islam.
Sorry.
Interpret the Quran.
Yes.
Now that's been maybe shut off in Sunni Islam. What's your perspective on it from the Shia perspective?
The jihad is? Ijtihad. Okay, ijtihad. Let me just give you a quick brief outline on what we believe on the succession of the Holy Prophet. We believe that there will be 12 successors of the Holy Prophet. And they have to be divinely chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these 12 have the right to do jihad in the way the Holy Prophet did. I'm coming to ijtihad, just give me just one minute. The way the Holy Prophet did. There are two types of wars, offensive and defensive war. Defensive war, if any of the Muslim states are attacked, they have to defend. It is wajib to defend. But offensive war, attacking another country, it is the right of the Holy Prophet. And the rightful successors of the Holy Prophet can only do it. Not the leaders today. None of the leaders today have the right to go and attack. They can only defend. Again, it's a long argument. It may be even disputed amongst Shias and amongst Sunnis themselves. So it is not something between Shia and Sunni. It is just an understanding on the verse of the Quran. Now, we believe that there are 12 successors. The first one is Ali and the last one is Mahdi. So, when he comes, he will again overthrow the governments, either Muslim governments or the non-Muslim governments, and he has the right to do jihad. Okay? Offensive war. Now, ijtihad is a term. If it is used to understand Quran and Hadith, there are two definitions of ijtihad itself. And again, it is not something between Shia and Sunni, between Shias and between Sunnis. If the definition, according to Shias and Sunnis, is that it is to strive to understand Quran and the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet better, then it is permissible. To strive, to work hard to understand the Quran better and to understand the Sunnah of the, then it is permissible. But if it is to strive against the Quran or Sunnah, or just to give your personal view on something, then it is forbidden. So this is the definition. Between the Shias, any of these two definitions, one is permissible and the other one is forbidden. I hope I made it clear. If I couldn't, I'll explain it again. So if it is to understand, yes.
My only thing is that in basically Sunni thought that process has been shut off for the last 700-800 years. Maybe that contributes to some of the problems that maybe the Sunni communities and nations are experiencing. But within the sort of Shia thought, that process is ongoing. And I know certain ulama, certain status can have that, and they can interpret the Quran according to maybe their knowledge and their understanding. So I'm just wondering, you've kept the school of thought open, but how much has it benefited the evolution of, say, Shia thought of the Quran?
I believe that even in Sunnis it is not completely shut off. They say that major ijtihad cannot take place. However, any new issues that arise, even the Sunni brothers do have ijtihad. For example, the sighting of the moon and other things. The new issues that arise. But they do not have any major ijtihad. They do not have another school of thought after the main four schools of thought. On the other hand, the Shias believe that the ijtihad does not stop because a divine leader has to come back from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like Isa alayhi salam. And until and unless there is a divine leader from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who will tell you in black and white, this is what to do and this is forbidden, the ijtihad continues. All the new issues that arise. For example, Quran has openly declared drinking is forbidden. No ijtihad can be done on that. Okay? So there are clear-cut messages in the Holy Quran. On those issues, there is no ijtihad. But on all the other issues, there may be ijtihad. For example, the Quran does not give you the method of prayer, namaz. But ahadith do. There may be 20 ahadith on one topic. A mujtahid or a person who is doing ijtihad will strive to find out which hadith is correct and which is the most accurate and most authentic in the practice of the Holy Prophet. That's all. So there may be ahadith, on one topic there may be tens of ahadith. Or a mujtahid will only strive. For example, there is one hadith